All right, y'all. I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful to anybody when I say this, but I have a proposition for basically everyone. If you want to say that this Confederate flag is a symbol of racism and hatred, please do research, because before it was ever adopted by any sort of racial group or anything of that matter, it was a battle flag, which meant at some point in time somebody flew that flag proudly. They flew it with hope and willing to stand up for whatever it was they were fighting for. Whether the cause was good or bad, the point was that it was a battle flag. It had no racial pungencies in it. We cannot help that a group known as the Ku Klux Klan and other racial groups have adopted this flag. That has nothing to do with the symbolism behind it. So please do your research and stop letting something as simple as a flag tear this country apart. Instead, use it as a battle flag. Let it bring us back together and stand up for what we believe in, which is freedom of everything, basically. Freedom of religion, freedom to bear your arms, freedom to do whatever you want to do. This is the US of A, people. Let's stand up for what we used to. We used to have a backbone in this country. But for some reason now everybody's scared of everything. And everybody's got to have a reason behind it. It's not a racial emblem. It has nothing to do with race. Absolutely nothing to do with race. I mean, look at how the song Gangnam Style brought millions and millions and millions of people together via the internet that would have never known anything about this man out of North Korea known as Psy had it not been for one person. Now, I don't know who that person was, but whoever he was that decided to put this video on YouTube of that North Korean star changed that guy's life. So why let something like a flag that has been missymbolized destroy everyone's lives? And why ban it? If you're going to ban the flag, a battle flag, then you might as well go ahead and ban other flags. Like, I don't know, how about, wow, just any flag? You know, some people don't like the fact that gays are legally getting married now. It's not my job nor me to judge in that fact. The only person that can do that's the good Lord above. I'm not going to go telling you you're wrong for flying some flag that I may or may not like. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to tell you that you're wrong and you need to take it down. Because that's not my position to be in. It's nobody's position to be in. And people that are burning the U.S. flag, do you not realize that you're in this country because people fought and died for the right for you to be able to do that? Please have some respect for these people that are out there giving their lives. I mean, you got families that have been in the military for years. You might have a father that's gone in the military and died, and his son has gone in the military and followed in his exact steps and may have made it home and may not have made it home. All I'm asking people is stop letting something so simple become such a big issue. And let's come together instead of fighting over something as ignorant as a flag. We're better than that. The U.S. is a lot better than that. Or at least we used to be. We used to be a country united by God. Was on our money. We said it in our schools. You can't even say the Pledge of Allegiance anymore because it takes too much time out of the educational system. That's a bunch of bullcrap. How are you? History says to not do the same things over so that history doesn't repeat itself. So if we're taking the Pledge of Allegiance out of school and we're taking biblical books, no matter what they are, I don't care if you're reading the Quran or you're reading the New Life Testament. The point is you can do that in the U.S. That's the reason why we were here. It's the reason why our forefathers decided to come over here and do what they did. That's part of the reason why we had a Boston Tea Party. We got pissed off at taxes, and guess what? We wanted to show them something, so we threw all their damn tea in a bay. You know, And nobody drinks tea anymore over, well, except if you're in the South, and you better have some damn good sweet tea. But besides that point, you got to come together. When that was happening at the Boston Tea Party, it didn't matter whether you was white, black, Asian, Hispanic. Hell, it didn't matter if you was yellow. You could have been damn Homer J. Simpson. They wouldn't have cared. They were together over one specific reason, to prove a point. So stop letting these government officials and these things that are said affect the way that you do your life, and live it the way you want to, but within the rules and regulations. It's not that hard. You can pretty much do whatever you want to do. All I'm asking is just stop making America look like we're some sort of joke. People used to be afraid of America. They used to be terrified of going to war against us. Now countries look at us and laugh because we've lost our backbone. And you know what? I don't know if we'll ever get it back. Especially with the generation of today, lazy, doesn't want to do anything. That's not the way America was built. America was built off of hard work and sweat. Getting out there and doing things. It wasn't built off of the people handing you things. They want to keep threatening to shut down the Social Security and stuff like that. Well, there's disabled people out there, myself included, that, they didn't ask for that to happen. Nobody asks to be disabled, especially from birth. You want to take away from the blind, the needy, the disabled, just to pad your own pockets? That ain't what this country was built on. Country was built on helping one another, standing up for what we believed in. But nobody does that anymore. You let some stupid thing such as simple as a Confederate flag just demoralize and completely tear this country apart. It's pathetic. You've got soldiers that are going overseas and dying so that you can fight over something as simple and ignorant as a battle flag that was used, 100 years ago or better. That just for some odd reason, somebody decides to fly off the back of their truck, myself included, does not mean that we're racist. If you look it up, it was a battle flag. It stood for freedom at one point in time. It stood up for standing up in what you believed in. So why don't you try standing up for what you believe in and stop trying to shoot somebody else's beliefs or freedom down? Stop trying to change things that have been implemented and have been here for many years. There's no point in it. Look at Coca-Cola. They had a wonderful commercial. I don't remember when. It was before I was ever born. I believe back in the 80s. And it had all kinds of people. Asians, Hispanics, whites, blacks, everything. All holding hands in a line singing, "We Are the World." What happened to that? If we're supposed to be this global leading economic country and this such a powerhouse and such a wonderful place to be, then why don't we start acting like it and stop acting like we lost our backbone? Now people are worried about praying in school or doing certain things in school because it might offend the Muslims. I'm sorry, Muslims. If we offend you, well, I'm sorry. You came to the US of A to be free from whatever it was you were there. So if you chose to do that, then by doing that, you chose to accept what may or may not be an outcome of something. I can't believe that you would want to come into our country and expect us to change for your likings and your beliefs. You came here because you didn't like where you were at. You came here for change and to start a new life. So start that new life and don't bring the past with you. It's just like work. You don't show up at work pissed off at your mom or your spouse or whatever and take it out on your coworkers. You show up to work to work. That's why you're there. So don't let something as simple as somebody saying something get up underneath your skin and fester you to a point to where you can't handle it. If you can't laugh at yourself or laugh at mistakes that your own country has made, or laugh, and I'm not talking about just anybody, I'm talking about us included, the US of A. We've made many mistakes. Many mistakes. One right now is with the presidency that we have. I mean, he's a joke. Everybody thought, oh, this will be great. Something's going to be awesome out of this. And it turned into be a big old joke. And you know what, though? It was a good thing at the same time because it taught us a lesson. But stop letting things tear us apart. Come together and stand up for what we believe in. That's what Congress was designed for. It's not to rule the people. It's to be, how would I go about saying? It's so the people can do what the people want to do within their laws and regulations that the people decide upon. We have the power, people, not the courts, not the Supreme Court, not the president. We choose who those people are. We vote for those people. So if you don't like the decisions that us as a country have made, then it's us as a country that's got to change them. It's not going to get any more simple than that. If you voted for somebody in 3 years ago and now all of a sudden he's not doing what you thought he said he was going to do, and it don't matter, it could be the president, a mayor, a school official, it all boils down to the community at hand chooses them. It's that simple. So if we can choose that, then how come you can let something as simple as a battle flag be no longer sold in stores? Confederate blankets no longer sold. Anything to do with the Confederacy is no longer sold. But you can go onto Amazon and buy a ISIS terroristic flag. Now, does that sound like something America would have put up with 10 years ago or 15 years ago? I don't believe so. That's ripping your own backbone out and laying down and just saying, well, I surrender. And that's not us. That's not any country that I know of, especially not our allies. Why have our own allies laughing at us? It makes absolutely no sense, and it does nobody any good. It's time, America, we get our backbone back and actually do something. We got to make some changes here. Otherwise, we ain't going to be the America that we are. We're already not the America we were. And it's just going to get worse if we don't soon do something about it. I mean, I don't know how it's simpler to say it. We've got to make a change. The people have got to make a change. I mean, it says it on our money. We the people. In God we trust. So why don't we go back to them roots where we the people decide who are our officials, why there are officials, and stop letting the officials lie. I mean, it doesn't get any more simple than that. Anybody can tell you what they want to tell you. Do research on them. See what they did as their actions when they were mayor. Or maybe that person at some point in time was in a political group or of a school, or was in some sort of fraternity. You can look all that stuff up on the internet now. You can find out whatever you want to find out about a person. But you gotta, do research. Make sure it's legitimate facts. Then vote based upon what you yourself researched, because you have the right to do that. And stop going based upon hearsay. I mean, I can tell you tomorrow I'm going to go outside and make $1 million. That don't mean that it's going to happen. We've fallen into this groove of let everybody sweet talk us, when it used to be the opposite way. Well, you can say what you want to say, but until we see your actions, we're not going to believe a daggum thing you're saying. And that's the way it needs to go back to. So please, let's make some changes, America. Let's make this country a great country again, like it was back before all this generational crap. It's just ignorancy. And back before something as simple as a flag could tick everybody off. It makes no sense. Just come on, guys. We got to come together. Stop letting everything push us apart. Anyway, that's all I got. Just please, let's come together as a nation and stop fighting over ignorant stuff.